Welcome back. This is Gmax 1.2 for the beginning modeler, video number 28. The mini-series being booms and tails. This is part 3, the construction of the horizontal tail. Our objective in this particular video is to construct the horizontal tail and then cut out the elevator and the trim tabs, fit it up to the V-tails, and that should be a wrap. Well, we have to set pivots for animation for the elevator and the trim tabs, and then we should be good to go. Okay, in the previous video we constructed the vertical tail, which included the vertical tail, the rudder, and the trim tab, and also a boom extension. If you look up close here. So with that in place, once we get a vertical tail in place, we'll and finish up that piece of it, we'll clone the left side to the right side, and that will finish up the tail section. Alright, with that said, let's hide everything here and get started. Hide selected. Go to the left viewport, and we're going to region zoom here in on this little baby right here, which represents the outline of the horizontal tail. And for this exercise, we're going to use just a standard primitive cylinder once again. It just makes it easy. We're going to do a 20-sided cylinder on this with no height segments. So with that, we'll go ahead and get it created here and see what we can do with this bad boy. Okay, we've got the cylinder. We'll push a little bit to create some depth, and we'll worry about that in a minute. And we'll right click there to finish that operation up. We're going to change this to see-through so we can see what we're doing here. Convert the cylinder to editable poly and go into vertex subobject mode. Okay, we're going to grab all these vertices here. We're going to go up to our handy dandy non-uniform scale tool, and we're just going to scale this down to get it in the ballpark what we want here, and then move it out to approximate length and shuffle it a little bit here. That's pretty close. Okay, there's a good starting point. Fast and easy, huh? Okay. With that said, now we just need to finish up shaping all this to fit the line. Back to our uniform scale, and we're going to kind of fatten this up a little bit. And these a little more. And these a bit more. Let's see what we need to do here. Let's fatten this up a little bit. With the smoothing, this is going to be actually quite round for the nose. Alright, that's the front end. Let's see what we need to do back here. And it's looking not bad, actually. We need to move these guys up a bit. And let's see what we need here. So it's actually pretty pointy back here, so we're going to make it pointy. Move this up a little bit, and we need to move these up a little more. Now you're getting the idea. Alright, now it's a reasonable shape to start with. Let's see what this looks like around the corner here. Alright, let's go up and give it some width. And we'll just select and move tool. Pull these vertices out to the line there. The rest of this is like a fillet up to the boom or to the V-tail. We'll pull that out to the side here. Now we go take a look and see what kind of airfoil we got. It looks pretty good, actually. Crash. My wife is crashing in the background, whatever that means. So that's a pretty good looking airfoil there, so I think we can go with that. Now let's go back to the top view, and you'll see this is the horizontal tail leading edge here, front end, and then starting here is your elevator. So let's just rather than boolean this, let's just move this line up to what would have been the cut line here and see what that looks like. See if we messed up anything on the side view. Actually, that's okay. It should be going kind of fat as we get up to here. That looks okay. So what we're going to do now is go back to the top view, and we're going to select these polys. We have ignore back facing off, so go to the bottom and just to double check we got everything, then back to the top. We're going to detach those polys and call it the left elevator. Alright, so now we have a left elevator, and we're going to link that right away to the HTail. Guess we may as well go ahead and set the pivot. Center to object. Oops. Let's see. View. Local. Center to object. Line to world. Reset scale while we're here. Now let's go ahead and notice down here are hinge lines. So from the HTail you have these, I don't know what you call them. I'm sure there's a proper official name for them, but this comes back as part of the HTail, and then there's a pivot hinge about here, so that's where we're going to put the pivot. And I guess we should go to the rear here and make sure we have that kind of centered, and that looks good. So good, we have that pivot set for the elevator. Okay, and it's linked to its parent, which is the HTail, horizontal tail. Now we have to cut out the trim tabs here. So let's go ahead and create some cutting tools to boolean these out. We'll do that. And let's see if we got that one right. If so, we'll just clone the bad boy. Let's go to the side view here for a better, yeah, it's right where we need it to be. Alright, so we'll just clone that by holding the shift key and clicking on this one's a little longer, so let's move over to this one. We'll clone that again by holding the shift key and clicking on the gizmo. And we need to stretch this one out a bit, so let's convert that to poly and pull these vertices out. Cool beans. So I guess we should convert all these to poly just to be consistent here. Alright, now let's so we only have to do one cut. We can actually attach each of these objects to the first, so let's go ahead and do that. Box 3 and 4 attach, so now we have one object to do the cut with. So let's select the elevator and see if we can do a boolean. Standard primitives, compound objects, select boolean. We want a reference. We want fine. And then pick part B, pick operand B, and there we have it. So let's see if we can convert this back to editable poly. To finish that up, and then let's select these and hide them. And see if we have cuts here. It looks like we do. So I guess we done good. So let's take a look at the damage we did, if any. And we should have two vertices selected there. We do. 2 here. 2 here. We've got 4. So we have, not sure why I did that, but that's okay. We can allow that. It's a little close. We can fix it or not fix it. It's just kind of up to, because we're on a kind of a upgrade there. If we move this in, we'd have to precision place it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And to kind of clean up the mesh, and I would do that normally, but for the purpose of this video, we won't. We'll just keep on trucking. Okay, so let's go to this mode and detach, and we'll call these trim tabs. They each they have their own special names, so that gets them detached, and we can just hide them, get them out of the way while we finish up the work we need to do. For cutting those out, we need to fill in. We're done with the tree view, so let's get that out of the way so we can work a little better, easier here. Let's see. We're going to create in the poly subobject mode here and create polys. I'm going to do it the easy way here, so I'm going to do the one that only has 4 grabs on it. So counterclockwise, you always have to go counterclockwise when creating these. And then we can go into this mode, and we call it border mode, and just cap that. And cap that. So that one's done. Let's do the next one. These are kind of close, so let me region zoom here. Make sure I hit the right one. Alright, counterclockwise we go. You notice there's 2 vertices here, so I'm sneaking in from the back to pick it up. Sneaking in from the back to pick up the right one. And there we have that. So back to border, select and cap. See if I can select that border from this side, yeah, cap. So that's done. Then one more. This one's going to be, do it from this angle because of all these other vertices up here that will tend to confuse you. And right here. Okay, that done. Border mode, cap, border mode, cap. Now we'll make quick work of that bad boy. Alright, so we've got the elevator done on that side. Now we got to do the other side. Let's see, we'll do kind of the same approach here. Oops, I'm still in vertex mode. Or no, I'm not either. Why was I seeing? Oh, duh. Okay, at least I can see this. Sometimes it's hard to see at a distance, and you can swing around to almost a side view. You can get them all on your screen, particularly on long items like ailerons, sometimes flaps. Hard to see. So, now we'll see if this will work for us. And why is that? That's actually part of the, well, they're going to be deleted anyhow. It's part of the HTail, and that's going to be filleted up against so we can actually delete those. We don't need them. Let's see if I can pick them both up. No. We have well, that can be deleted too, really, but must be a vertex not joined here. It's true. Didn't say that though. Anyhow, we're going to delete this poly here because it's unnecessary. And there's obviously a vertex out here. We can delete to clean that up. We may need that this end to do an extrude, so we'll add it. Try that again. So we'll add it back while we're just sitting right here doing nothing of great importance. So we'll select that and delete it. Select that and delete it. And see if we got a border here. Yes, we do. So we'll cap that because we're probably going to need it to do the fillet. Okay, so the elevator is all cleaned up. Now we do need to extrude this and round it off, so let's just do that right quick while we're here. You get quite a bit of movement in the elevator, so we're going to go ahead and bring that down, extrude again, and bring that down. Okay, and then while we're in poly subobject mode, we may as well smooth the bad boy while we're here. Auto smooth, and look at there. Let's change that smoothing. That didn't take the same smoothing group as the others, so let's see what. That's a 1. This is probably a 2. No, it's a 3. Whatever. We'll call it a 1 as well, and that puts a little shadow on it, which will help with the visuals. Alright, so let's take off the see-through on this. Make it gray while we're here. Alright, now let's go and hide, what do you call it, trim tabs. There's the trim tabs. So we need to finish them off as well, so we'll just hide unselected. Try to make quick work of this as well, so let's we'll go into polygon mode and create. We do these. Remember I told you if you use a scroll mouse you can kind of scroll in and out when and it helps when you got a couple close vertices like this. When you zoom in, kind of makes it easier to find stuff. Might as well do this one while we're in this mode. Make sure I got, yeah, I did. Alright, so with that done, we can now do some caps. Cap, cap, cap. Cap the bad boy. Cap the bad boy. Cap the bad boy. Now, trim tabs don't get a lot of movement, so we're just going to do a quick one extrude and got them all selected. That's kind of neat. So we'll just do one little extrude and bring it down a bit. Usually I like to do these like I do the left. I could do the rudders and elevators too. And that's those other vertices that are close on a couple of these. I'm going to have to adjust those as well. So we're going to just shrink that down a little bit. Not much, just a little. And we'll pull this down to see how that looks. I think that'd be alright. Did I move those back? I forget. Well, we'll know as soon as we unhide. Let's go ahead and take off the see-through here, change it to gray. Now let's, I guess we better smooth them. Let's see, polygons, select all the bad boys, and clear them all and smooth them all. That looks like it's smoothed up pretty good. Alright, let's just see what we got. Now let's go back and unhide the elevator. Unhide by name. What do I call that? Left elevator. Left elevator, sure did. No, I didn't move those back. Or did I? That's what that extra vertex did to me in the shading there. But I didn't do as I thought I did. Hide unselected. I wanted to move this back just a little bit to give me give us a little bit of a gap for them to rotate in. See if I climbed on top of that other vertex there. We had two somewhere. So I had two twos. There's one. There's one. Okay. See if we can fix this. At least bring it up to here. What I would do on a normal project is delete those extraneous vertices and rebuild that face. It's really the right way to do it, to kind of clean it up, eliminate any shading anomalies. That's just, but so now you know. I won't have to do it. So let's unhide the HTail. HTail. Maybe I didn't name that. Box. Could have been a cylinder. Yeah, there it is. Unhide by name. Let's go get the left elevator. Okay, let's take the see-through off of that and change the color. And there you go. Now let's see. Let's go ahead and put this side back on so it'll be there when we do the fillet. Let's see. Cap. There it is. Whoops. I didn't like the looks of that. Oh, I know why. We haven't finished this one off yet, so let's hide unselected. Yeah, see? About to, see, you guys ought to have the ability to yell at me, so wait. Polygon mode. Create. So that when I make a mistake like that, you can prove your knowledge by waking me up. Alright. There we go. Cap let's see. Also, what we have to do here, because this elevator rides inside of this, we need to do an extrude. Let's come out a little bit, just a smidgen. And then we're going to bring this down. Oops, not that way, Shupe. Let's bring this down. A little bit more. I know it's hard to see. Let's try to get a better angle on it. Let me see what we're doing. Okay. Now we're going to just pull it in to give that elevator room to ride. You can see why pulling it down, you can see on the sides it's showing, so we could actually give it a little bit of, not that that's going to be seen, but anyhow, I want to make sure that's down enough. So remember that the leading edge is nice and round, so you're not really going to see this, but you'll know it's there, right? Alright, so that's done. Now let's select all the polygons and drop down to smooth, clear all and auto smooth. There you go. There's your, notice the shading difference here. Remember what we talked about with that? We've got two different smoothing groups banging up against each other. We've got two on the bottom and one on the top, and that's good. That's really what you want. So, but you can fix that by taking either one of the two and adding the other group in with it. So now when you look at it, let's get off of it so we can, it's nice and rounded, smooth, and properly shaded. Okay, so now let's get all the parts back in here. Let's name this, by the way, to HTail. And go and hide by name. We want the left elevator in the trim tabs. And we have to, let's see, is everybody linked together here or no? No, we got to do the trim tabs to the elevator. Otherwise, they'll be, exercise the elevator and the trim tabs will be hanging out there in midair. Okay, now remember I said these are actually two different kinds of trim tabs. One is a manual, I think it's the center one, where they can manually adjust that tab, and the other two are operated from the cockpit. So essentially, this one doesn't get a name, and these two, the other two, get the same name. So what we're going to do is go to top view here, and we're going to select all of these polys, all of these polys. Let's make sure we have ignore back facing on, go to the bottom view, make sure we've got them, and we're going to detach these trim tabs. And let's see, I'm not sure I know what the names are, but while they're let's get out of that mode. While they're selected now, let's go see if I have it in Max Script. Tag tool, and if you haven't gotten tag tool, we'll have to get you a copy of that. Let's see, these are not keyframe, they're stock animations. So let's see if we can find an elevator trim tab. Trim tab elevator, there it is. So we'll just click on that, and that changes the name to trim tab elevator. I'm going to make that _01, because when we clone this whole exterior model for the interior, we want that to still be a proper name for animation. So we'll let Gmax rename this to 02 instead of messing with the original name. Okay, boys and girls, and I know there's a girl out there watching because I saw it on the stats, so thank you for being here. We now have horizontal tail, elevator, and trim tabs, and what's left is we set the pivot for this, right? Yes, we did. We need to set the pivot for this. So let's go to do that now. Centered object, align the world, just reset scale, just because. And let's move this over where we can. Oops, look, I missed it. I missed it again. See what happens. It wants me to be in select and move mode. Duh. We're going to set this. These trim tabs are actually set pretty close to the line here, so I'll just set it right there, the x-axis, and that should work. So there we have the day's work, and that took 31 minutes to do that. So that's not bad. We just need to fillet it in. And let's see if I don't know if we can do that that quickly or not. Filleting usually takes a little time pushing vertices around, so let's get rid of this cutting tool here. Delete that. I've got the old original one I was playing with here. That's not it though. Let's back up here, make sure I got the right one. I had a test one in here somewhere. HTail test, yeah. That's the one I want to delete. So where's my, did I delete it? Yeah, I think I did. Alright, let's be careful, you'll step on yourself here. HTail test. Yeah, I did that while I was preparing the video, just making sure everything's gonna go okay. Okay, so what we have left here is this fillet on either side that goes out to the H boom. Probably should wait till we get the other boom in to do that. Makes a lot of sense. So let's move this whole thing forward a little bit. Alright, that bad boy's good. You see what I saw? Yep. Failed to link these again after there you go. Now it's back to the top, and see if we can move these, or move this. I did move it forward, okay. Good. Okay, we're good to go. So what's left now, I think I'll do that fairing after I've got the other boom in there. So let's see, we're into this 33 minutes. I'm not sure I can, maybe I can. Well, really there's no point in copying the boom over until we have it finished up in the front. So I could do it just for kicks, I suppose, or I could do the tail, but I need the boom in there to actually do the fairing. So okay, well, now that I've talked my way around that, see what happens when you start modeling. Okay, we got the H-tail done. It does need to be linked to the boom, kind of tie it into the rest of the aircraft here. Now let's see what else is not linked in all of this. The V-tail. V-tail needs to be linked to the boom. We'll just do that. Now our hierarchy should be complete. Yeah. Cool beans, except for this box, which is a 3 view. Alright. Boys and girls, I think we're done. So hopefully that's been instructional for you. Not that hard to create. Actually a lot easier than the V-tail, right? but using the same techniques we've used up on the flaps and the ailerons, etc., etc. Same kind of deal. Simple cylinder. Use the heck out of this non-uniform scale. Push the vertices around, fill in the holes, set your pivots, do the smoothing, do the linking. You're done. So great. That kind of finishes up the tails in terms of what we can do now. I guess we need to get back and start shaping this up. But I was waiting to do gear to do that because it's hard to, maybe we'll do it anyhow just so we can finish up the boom, get it propagated to the other side, and once we get the tails all done, get these fillets done, then we can come back and start working on the gear to wrap up the exterior of the aircraft. Okay guys, I'm going to let you go for now, and please check back on the next video. Thanks a bunch. Have a good day.